What's up, cats and kittens? Welcome back to our final match of the day. It's the FSL Elite between Close Behind Esports and Asterisk. I'm giving this and with me is Riku, and we'll be bringing you guys this best of 3 game action off the back of an exciting game with Valkyrie, Evo's Valkyrie. CBES managed to pull off a pretty impressive win.
Yes, I really love, just as Hungry Cast said earlier, he's just really amazed by the team fighting skills of Close Behind from Thailand. And I cannot wait to see that here against Asterisk, because no one has defeated Asterisk yet. They are in the dream streak of potentially winning the championship undefeated. That is the goal of Asterisk right now.
See, here's the thing too. Close Behind Esports, they were good at team fighting, but they were good at team fighting in like 4 different places.
Yes.
One team fight would spread out, and you would have somebody dive in for the backline. The other team would have somebody dive into your backline, and then it's a massive like dog fight. So I'm wondering if a kind of a play like that might actually be better against Asterisk, and if they are a little bit unprepared for that. So going into this start definitely was such a huge carry for CBE. Right?
Yeah.
Without her in the top lane, holding the game down, I don't think they could have taken those 2 games.
Same here, I do agree. Even Renekton is open on this draft. If Desertbed really wants to replicate the dominating top lane, crocodile or alligator?
Okay, pretty sure it's the use now is supposed to be a... Actually, I can't remember. You know what? It's alright, it's alright.
Never mind, let's just say giant mythical
reptile thing.
Okay.
For all we know, it's a house lizard, right?
House lizard. Wow, you reduced the scary Renekton to a house lizard. But anyway, Nocturne again on Lustreless. So
yeah,
that's gonna be a very scary Nocturne, because we've seen so many dominating jungle performance from Lustreless on this Nocturne as well, which just means that CB is probably prepared for it, right?
Yeah, it's kind of a situation where you get the Renekton in, and you're gonna be able to duel most of whatever they bring out to the table. Picking this Nocturne, they don't have the Galleon to synergize with it, but it doesn't mean that they don't have some kind of power in the mid lane. I think Lissandra would have been additionally a very strong pick to work with the Nocturne, but there's still so many options available mid lane. Definitely looking forward to see what they want to bring out there. A couple of support bands now coming out. Braum and Thresh getting removed, so we don't get Claria coming in with that disgusting Thresh. I mean, come on. Gotta give them a chance.
Exactly. I mean, Claria also does play a really good Braum, so that's also eliminated out of the options. So I'm wondering how what Rary is gonna pick as well, because and Lovely Tunes, because the bot lane is the only missing piece for the side of CBE. Meanwhile, we might see a Cass. No, this is our second Cass game, I believe.
Cassiopeia coming in, working pretty well into this composition. You have a lot more crowd control, a lot of long range poke too.
Yeah.
Zaya being picked up. Rakan could be the follow up here as well.
Yeah, really good scaling on the Cass. Saya really comfortable. Rary here on the Saya as well. So I wonder if we're gonna see the really flashy Saya plays just the same as Kamiho from Eva's Valkyrie. And it's a Zyra as well. So heavy poke.
Yeah, low poke damage coming in. So this is something that I want to talk about, right? And I want to hear your thoughts on this too, because we've been going into this Renekton Ornn kind of matchup. We've seen Ornn come in a couple of games. We've seen Renekton come out in a bunch of games at this point. As we start seeing the Ornn go up against the Renekton, what do you think about this? I mean, is this kind of like a trade-off for early lane pressure for like this like mid-game big call to Forge God? Like, is this kind of like this trade-off here?
What do you mean, like
yeah,
when
so it's
come
like
level 6?
Yeah, so it's like this trade-off, right? Because you have like less teamfight potential as a Renekton, you don't have that big engage, but you have so much more like trading potential, so much more lane presence, so much more just control and split push pressure.
Yeah, well, to be honest, for me, when it comes to like first team fights, I feel like Renekton's CC is far easier to land, especially when everyone's clumped together, in comparison to Ornn's ult, where you have to really focus and concentrate, and it takes a while to get back to you. So for me, in terms of like fast execution to be able to catch people off guard, I'd have to go for Renekton.
Yeah.
But overall kit, like team fight, control, really heavy AP damage as well. Probably Ornn for sure. The utility is there as well. But I'm a huge fan of Renekton and Desert Fed's Renekton at that. So I'm looking forward for more plays from her.
Yeah, absolutely. She's been an amazing Renekton player, has had a lot of pressure coming in. I also want to mention Selman Pink as well has been doing pretty well for herself on that Galio. So removing the Galio as a ban has been a very smart and wise decision coming in for Asterisk. Of course, Lissandra, I think, is in a similar branch of playstyle for the Galio, so I don't think it's too much to say that, if you can play Galio well, you could probably play Lissandra pretty well. What I do want to highlight, though, is his bot lane matchup, because it's Zyra, Brand Lucian. Right, so this is a tough matchup for the Lucian. Lucian ends up taking so much poke here. I'm kind of wondering what they want to work with this.
Same here. Like, I'm imagining level 6 as well for both of these sides.
Right.
And it's going to be very explosive for Brand side, but then poke-wise, you got to hand it to Zyra first. Overall, I want to ask your opinion on... Oh, but before that, I want to say that I'm also a fan of Salmon Pink. Because not only can she play a sick Galio,
right?
She can also... That means she can step back and be the utility person, right?
Yep.
But she can also play a mean LeBlanc. Like, we saw it against... I think Asterisk before. It was Lustreless in a Karthus, and Salmon Pink kept pressuring. The red buff had to be reset like thrice, and Lustreless couldn't kill the red buff there. So I just want to put it out there that I'm a fan of Salmon Pink. But the question I want to ask you is, what do you think about the jungle matchup? Because it's definitely going to set the tempo of the game.
I think there's a pretty good chance that Nocturne will probably just be able to find time to just scale up to level 6 and start finding things with the Paranoia. I don't think the Olaf will, while Olaf will have some early game pressure, I don't think it's going to be to the extent that Olaf is going to be able to like snowball the game very early on.
True.
So I think it's a pretty good matchup overall for the Nocturne. Just try and find some early levels, try and scale up to the point where they have a lot more impact. And I think once they hit 6, it's very easy. But knowing how Asterisk have been playing and how confident they've been playing their games, I definitely think that that even pre-6, just in the laning phase, we're going to see some very, very aggressive gameplay. And with that being said, we have a couple of videos for you guys to check out as we load into game. So let's take a look, and we'll be right back. We're back for a quick second. Don't blink or you miss us. As we load into game, it's Asterisk versus Close Behind Esports. Close Behind Esports on the blue side, and it is our final best of 3 for the night. We had a pretty long run for a lot of these teams. I think Evil's Valkyrie had a direct invitation, so they just managed to come in right away. But for the rest of these teams, they had a long qualifying stage, long qualifying process just to get to this final best of 3.
Indeed, and we're finally at the conclusion of the FSL. One thing I do want to point out, though, for Close Behind, they're actually pretty good at playing from behind in terms of BO3 series, because they lost the first game against EVOS Valkyrie, but that didn't phase them. It's like, we did a mistake because it was a base race. That was just one of the most exciting things. It was a base race. They were tunnel vision on the base of their enemy, which they saw through it, and they repaired it in the next 2 games. So I'm looking forward to CBE keeping that mindset, keeping that intact throughout the series, because there is a good chance Asterisk, because they really want to go undefeated. That's the goal here right now. Right. Undefeated champions. I mean, that is amazing. Undefeated in the whole tournament, and as well as the whole FSL season.
Yeah, that's just absolutely bonkers. I mean, at that point, a little bit overpowered.
Yeah, they did mention it's
Listener.
super pressuring, super pressured with that.
Yeah, just quick to highlight as well. Just there was a quick pause at the start because of a little keyboard issue, but we've resolved that. We're moving into game. Renekton has no items, or I'm hoping that the Renekton does have items and it's just a bug, but
Maybe excited. It happened out. She
Oh, no,
noticed.
no
she
items,
noticed.
alright.
She noticed.
whoops.
Oh no.
You know, she was so worried she had to get there quick enough to make sure that nobody was invading. And she was just like, I don't need items, okay? I can recall and I can come back in time.
That's actually a good analogy. It's like, I want to escort the minions safely toward my lane.
Start bumping the minions
Yeah.
aside, wave manipulation.
Exactly. So it bounces off to
calculated.
you. I
Whew.
hot damn, that was painful.
Good damage to the press the attack. Shouldn't be too much of an issue. I don't think the lane is going to be impacted too much off of that. But again, I think there's a lot to be seen down the bot lane, a lot of kill pressure on both sides. You land the roots, you land the stun on the brand side, and it's pretty easy to really try and force the kill. So I think bot lane has a lot of... We should keep our eyes on bot lane.
Definitely. So much CC, so much firepower, literally at the bot side of the map. And Aya actually managed to... Oh, painful W, man. So painful. Going back, the early chunk really did wonders at the Pixel Brush exchange there for Rary, because this really forces Rary to use the pots in advance, which would mean a more difficult laning phase for Lovely Tunes and Rary, which means they got the upper hand in terms of zoning as well, and landing a better position to have better angles for skill shots.
And we're kind of watching right now the jungle pathing coming in from both sides. Nocturne moving in to try and clear out all the camps on the top side and then moving down as well. That's the kind of jungle pathing that you expect in Nocturne. What I'm a little bit concerned about is the way that the Olaf is pressuring the lanes, is that he's trying to go in, he's trying to go for this full clear too. While it probably does help, you know, it's also going to slow down the tempo a lot, and it's going to be difficult for him to try and set up a early pressure where the Olaf should excel above Nocturne. Oh my goodness, Saba Blue might get caught out here.
Forced to use a flash as well, very early. Nocturne around the corner, and that means double scuttle control for Lustreless as well. That's a very good start for the jungle of Asterisk at the moment, which means no pressure because they spotted no flash, no no Olaf for a couple of seconds at least.
Yeah.
So that was a really good. Imagine the wonders of priority in this game. It's really snowball, not really so, like it's a chain reaction till
like a
till
butterfly effect,
yeah,
right?
butterfly effect. Thank you. That's a better way to put it.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of goes back to the idea that, you know, when you go for this like clear on Olaf, right, you end up on such low health that it becomes difficult to try and really work with that. Whereas Lustreless has managed to maintain relatively healthy throughout the entire clear, and pathing towards the Scuttle Crab very early on, be able to clear that as well. It just makes all the difference when it comes to being able to go for these trades, and it forces the flash from Saba Blue.
Yeah, it will definitely slow down the process. But you're right, it's all about just chillin', farming, and the action is at bot side because there's a ton of poke. Well, at least the good side about Azira, at least you don't have to worry too much about the minions. You can just, because hold that thought. Just the same as Aya. Don't have to worry too much about the minions because it will just definitely pass through and reach your target. In comparison to Claria, some of the skills will definitely need a clearer view.
That's true.
And minions out of the way.
Yeah, you can't hit your stun if the minions are blocking your way. That's going to be something you have to watch out for, and something that they have to work with the wave around. First Dragon coming up pretty soon. I think that Nocturne should be looking for a couple of quick recalls, try and get the Nyx clear, start moving towards level 6, and start looking for that early play to try and get set up first blood for the team.
Definitely. Gonna get spotted out by the Vision Plant.
This
timing.
Is insane clear. 5 minutes in, has a recall, it's still going for the camps, and should hit level 5 off of this if she's able to get this safely.
Saba Blue just using everything just so that there's no tools on the side. Lustreless will be able to get back safely.
Pretty close to 5,
Yeah.
pretty sure. Should get 5 off the next camp, and but yeah, Saba Blue coming in for a little bit of aggression, just trying to set up some vision for herself in regards to where the Nocturne is.
Yeah, no vision at all on for Renekton, but at least there is at the brush near the red buff at top side. That's the best way to get information, I suppose, where the Nocturne's gonna. Whoa!
Nobody saw anything.
Nope. Krug MVP. Oh my. Okay, hold on. Claria.
Down the bot lane, looking for a couple of shots where we might be able to find a good trade. I just dashes out. Relentless Pursuit used to get away, and the bot lane looks to be basically this is the position that we expected it to be, right? It's a constant kill threat, and both sides have to be very aware and respectful for what might potentially happen.
Yep, indeed. Yeah, still not level 6, but there is enough CC if they're too extended, but they gotta take note of the waves. If it starts piling up, aggro might be too much for the bot lane of CBE, but all of them are pretty low, so they will get spotted. That's why they're backing up. She will get spotted, rather. But yeah, a ton of vision as well for the side of CBE around the map.
Salmon Pink now moving, posturing pretty aggressively over in the mid lane, and I want to highlight something as well, is the summoner spell choice between Salmon Pink and Cameron. Cameron going for the much more respectful cleanse play, being able to remove the Glacial Prison.
Oh, whoa!
Wow, flashing in. Salmon Pink looking to try and get the catch off. That's going to be the Petrifying Gaze. Locked down onto this bird, and she's going to have to try and back away from this one. But teleport from the Renekton, forcing pretty kind of a bad, well, kind of a low quality use. What is going on between junglers, man?
The fight is not PvP, it's PvE, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my. Oh no. Anyway, going back. I'm actually a little bit lost. Okay, the teleport play.
Yes.
The teleport play, it's actually a pretty...
it's kind of a desperate play, right?
Yeah.
It was soft. They were trying to force a play to happen. So I liked the fact that Renekton had shoved out the wave, so they managed to give themselves the opportunity to try and go for a play like that. But they needed a little bit more coordination. They needed the Olaf to be in position to try and assist that play to happen. Cannonburn played that very well, in my opinion. I think she positioned herself very well. She used the miasma very well, gets the grounded effect, and there's no instantaneous dash on her. And that's really the difference as well between having cleanse. You have the additional safety. So even if she misplays, she knows that she's okay, and she can make a potential recovery off of that anyway.
Indeed, and because of that TP being used, if ever they do, if Nocturne reaches level 6, which she is already level 6, if they pursue Dragon, Ornn can easily join the fight, and Renekton has to block manually, slowly but surely. All scuttles are even controlled by the Nocturne as well, so no movement speed.
This is a bot lane fight if I've ever seen one. As long as Brent comes in, but CB taking the safer path. Decide not to go and get baited into a potential Nocturne ult.
Yeah, freezing the wave as well. Piling it up. Oh!
Over in the mid lane, the clan's coming in from Candlebun. She's looking to try and get damage down onto Saba Blue. She's trying to kite away, but a couple more shots should see her getting taken down. Near side comes out. It's first blood. The Paranoia almost saves her mid laner, but Lustreless won't be able to find anything off of this.
I was a little bit worried for Saba Blue. I thought it was going to be a 1-for-1 exchange, but the bait is real. Saba Blue just exited the fight out of range of the cast. And nice root there by Rary. But that was a good gank. That was definitely a good gank. Already level 6 by Saba Blue. But we'll see. But Paranoia already used though. So
yeah, Paranoia was being used just to give that, just to deny vision, so they couldn't hit that. You couldn't use auto attacks and maybe miss their skills. But unfortunately, it was just such a tight area. There was no way that Cassiopeia was going to be able to kite that. So it was a very straightforward spell being used from the Lissandra. Good play coming in.
Play? Good play.
Good play.
It's so funny because I heard there's a plane coming in.
Good plane coming in. I mean, it's when the Saba Blue Stun's proccing the Ragnarok, procs the Predator, she's basically a jet plane.
Actually, and also Lustreless on the Nocturne, like,
yeah.
Oh my god, what are we doing? Anyway, I was just thinking, because if Paranoia wasn't used at that time, because either way Cass was dead, I felt like they were already itching to target bot lane, because it was rather pushed already, rather extended. But then again, summoner spells are quite complete for bot lane for CVE, so it might be a little bit tough.
Yeah, and there's really not that many windows for them to try and go back in and get the ganks again, so I think I definitely agree with you. There's no point trying to force something over in the mid lane, or sorry, the bot lane rather. Instead, you can try and apply pressure, you can move towards the dragon, you can get these neutral objectives and try and snowball off of that. So you can really see how patient Asterisk has been this game, considering how aggressive they generally are. But here we go, lockdown over the mid lanes, catch on the Candleboy, but the Ragnarok denies any form of crowd control from the Petrifying Gaze. Now Mionaizi has to fight this off. Sabla moves forward to call the Forge God, looking to try and do a little bit of damage, a little bit of CC. Lucian and the Brand now moving over, almost a catch onto the Brand, flashing forward. Saba Blue looks to try and go in, the root on, the stasis from Clara keeps her alive a little bit longer, the On gets the first kill off the fight, onto the Lissandra, flash forward from Disrupt, she manages to get a kill back. Mayonnaise won't be able to try and get for a trade back, but she won't give it over to the Benefactor, and Aya picks up the kill for that one, and oh my goodness, what a massive fight in such a tight corridor.
Yeah, 2-for-2 exchange as well. And CB had the upper hand for eliminating targets immediately. But then a lot of the members from CBE were quite far. And Asterisk is so much nearer, so they responded quickly. CBE was just satisfied to get 2-for-2 in that one, especially if they're the ones that started it. But this is what we were talking about. Oh. Nicely done, Root. But this is what we were talking about earlier. You asked me about Call of the Forge God versus Renekton in team fights. I feel like Renekton is easier to land, but Mayonnaise's ult, of course, if you can predict, you could probably try to separate. So Mayonnaise is forced to choose which angle the direction is going to be, and most likely will hit either one target alone.
Well, on the previous fight's case, neither of them. Right?
Yeah, neither of them
so
got
I want
hit.
both of them, and it goes right in the middle. But yeah, you know, it was a zoning out. It actually was a zoning out. Just yeah, it sets them up so that they went down towards bot side. Unfortunately, Claria was caught out by the Zyra a little bit beyond that. And it's just unfortunate that they didn't have the vision necessary for them to try and make that play as well as they were hoping.
Indeed.
But yeah, I think it's a pretty even matchup still. It's not too big of an issue so far.
But CB really loves their fights, and that's the reason why they have double TP set up. They're really aiming for the numbers advantage, for just overwhelming you with power and catching you off guard. Kills to objectives is the game for them. And right now, a ton of vision on the side of Asterisk. Really good. A ton of control wards rather. When did they remove pink wards again? Season 5?
5?
Around that time.
Was that the same time they removed the Oracle? Because
oh yeah. Right.
Oof.
That's
solid trade damage in the bot lane.
Instapot.
Again, we are watching the Olaf hovering around this bot side. Both teams are generally looking towards their bot laners as a potential win condition, and that's going to mean that they have to try and make plays around that. We do see Nocturne now moving towards the top side a little bit more. Disturb doesn't have her flash. She is a little bit more prone to fighting, so they might be able to look for a bait out, but it doesn't look like they'll be able to get that. Nocturne gets spotted out there.
Did the vision plant detect the Olaf? Because she was just about to enter the range of vision. So Nocturne probably thinks Olaf is at red side?
Maybe.
Yeah, probably. But at the moment, although I guess the one extended lane is at top side, but I guess it's still a little bit too risky.
Yeah,
This
is the teaser for the next farming simulator. Both sides just trying to pick up a little bit more CS. We do see a little bit towards the mid lane. In this case, Lissandra having a couple more kills, a couple more assists, has a little bit more impact. But honestly, right now, Cassiopeia, the way she's been playing, has had so much CS and is farming so very well. It's not a big loss.
Yeah, and normally we see like the dragon getting contested already, but the conditions are not met yet. And as Lustreless, being Nocturne, probably gonna try to find a Paranoia pick first before transitioning to Ocean. And just as I said, they're gonna start it. I mean, it's really important. It will really benefit them well. More sustain for Candleburn in the lane, more pokes for the brand.
I have to say, I love that play, and I think what they just did, or at least what it looked like to me, was they they knew that their blue buff was up, which means that on the other side, Lissandra is definitely going for a blue buff too. And if that's the case, both jungler and mid laner are moving towards blue buff, which gives them free time to just go do the dragon. If that was the thought process for that play, then I have to say that was just absolutely brilliant.
Brilliant for Asterisk. Quick on their thoughts, and as an exchange, Rift Herald is also an option. At least it's not something Asterisk could take later on towards the game, because most of the time they take everything from you.
That's true.
Eventually, but here.
Oh, bot lane though.
It's gonna be a dive.
Culling starting the fight off. They're going to clear out the wave a little bit. Aya takes a couple of target shots, but it's not going to be too big of an issue just yet. Ryrie loses a lot of health. The paranoia comes in. The good Storm comes out. The heal coming in as well. Flash away. Root on to Lushless, but she goes into stasis. Survives for a little bit longer. Over on the side. Lushless almost gets taken down.
That was so close. Oh my.
And over the top lane, Orlan gets taken down, and first turret heads over to CBE. Managed to find their retribution. Oh no, looks like they managed to get them. Did they manage to get the turret first? No, it's the bomb. Blue team, right?
I think it should be blue team, like
yeah,
with the Rift Herald help.
Yeah, I think blue team managed to just barely get the turret first. Oh my goodness. 86 health Rift Herald coming in, smashing this top lane turret.
And yeah, half health as well. And the trade is obviously worth for the side of CBE. At least they got a good chunk.
They got one turret.
Yes.
They got half of another turret. They got they got one kill top lane and almost got a kill bot lane.
Yes.
And I don't think they lost anything there.
Yeah, only you're right. I thought someone died from the exchange earlier,
Yeah,
but right.
Yeah, they didn't even have to lose anything there. You look at Olaf, it's like, what's Olaf with rip buff? It's like, yeah, you know.
It's about to spawn now. So round number 2. I'm kidding.
Just the PTSD comes in and just like, ADC, do you want rip buff?
Yeah. How about you take it on instead?
Yeah.
At the moment, they're doing it surgically. Like it's the right thing to do to focus on top right now. It's but the threats are there. A lot of them are responding already. They have to respect Lissandra with a flank.
Big play coming in. The Nocturne looking to try and set things up a little bit for the team, but nice flash in. The lockdown. Claria's going down. Aya's going down. Both targets still very low here.
They're still on a chase.
Renekton coming in from the back end, right over the Krug wall. They're locking down on the Lustreless. She has some damage. She just almost gets down Saba Blue. Salmon Pink here. But Saba Blue just walks right into their faces and they just have to flash away.
Yo. I mean, CBE is feeling it. Like, they came from the EVO's Valkyrie series. They felt good about that game. And obviously, it carried over. It's like, they're so hungry for these skirmishes. And it's just so amazing to watch. Like, they're positioning the Lissandra, even though the Nocturne was behind her. She didn't mind because she had to flash anyway. Flash root, the burst damage was there. Cass wasn't able to respond in time because I think it would have been too late if she tried to join anyways. So probably instructed to try and push and trade the tower instead, but it wasn't possible. It was just, whoa.
Paranoia coming in, call the Forge, go the Fetterstorm keeps her alive a little bit longer, but that's going to be the first kill. On picks up that one, but the Ignite taking down. Lustreless goes down anyways, a trade back 1 for 1. And he barely survives with a life, but no more aggression coming in, so they trade a support for jungler there. They will get mid lane turret as well.
Definitely more control on their side because their own mid is not yet taken down, not even the slightest. And looks like a good trade once again from CBE because they're chunking down this bot side as well. Already half health. So I really love the adjustment from the Thai team as well. I mean, Asterisk, this game is one of those games where Asterisk is not as dominating as the group stage.
Yeah, they're not like 10k good hit at 20 minutes, right?
Exactly.
It's like for the first time. You know, it's like it's such a strange circumstance for Asterisk to be behind. And
Second time, isn't it?
I think so, yeah.
Barcy was the one that could have that equalized the goal at least around mid game, and then fell apart around late game.
Yeah, I think it's just they build a composition around scaling, around having this strong mid to late game. The Lucian definitely has a lot of pressure early game, but that's just sort of to tide them through. So it really is this super strong late game composition. So right now, we're not really seeing its full effects, but I think as we go into the later stages of the game, should be okay.
Yeah, there'll definitely be more aggressive. They were aggressive earlier. They got a pick towards the support. They hoped to transition to the probably a chunk on the rest of the second tier tower, but never mind. Tons of control wards. It's the warding game on the dragon side.
Oh,
and I'm sorry, I was just looking at top side. If the wave is going to be building, if they're going to take a while there at bot, it might eventually reach the tower if they take their time, which would mean this could potentially fall later on. Top side, yeah.
Yeah, talking about top side, Renekton is no slouch as well. So I'm talking about this scaling composition coming in from Asterisk. Renekton definitely going to have a lot of power too. And talking about that, coming in, the Ragnarok going to be used. Disturb jump into the fight as well. Lushless gets CC down. The Call of the Forge God sets up the fight. That's one kill. That's two. Two over to the red side. They're looking at the end of the fight. The Pharaohstorm comes in, looking to take the damage down. Candleburn flashes away, uses the cleanse too. As a counter blast from Riri. She's trying to take them down. A couple crits from Aya. She gets it! And Candleburn takes down the Xayah.
Oh no! I mean, I understand you, Rary. Everyone was pretty low on the side of Asterisk, but the flash in, you opened yourself up to so many DPS.
Right,
and there's no peel anymore. Yeah.
Cassiopeia, Lucian for an easy Baron pickup at 22 minutes. This is how it happens, right?
Yeah.
You're ahead in the game, you're beating Asterisk, and for one time in your life, you're like, you know what, I think we can beat Asterisk. And then you're going for one fight, it wasn't even a mistake. They played that fight well. It really was just a tight corridor that allowed them the On to have such a good setup. And that was just it. That was all there was nothing that CBE could have done there.
Exactly. They just broke CB's dreams right there. They've been winning fight after fight. CBE always managed to either equalize or win the trade time and time again. That was the only single instance I remember in this game where their confidence has been broken. But then again, you're right. It's all about scaling. They were confident with their 2 item spikes already. It was a tight corridor. Perfect for Candleburn as well, aside from the Ornn ult. So a lot of AoE just shredded a lot of players. From the side of CB. So it's defense mode right now for close behind.
Yeah, and I have to give props to Riri as well. She really did try and play that out very well. Got aggressive towards the end, and unfortunately, she just wasn't at the level where it was paying off. She almost managed to outplay it, but almost doesn't really count in the end game stats. So yeah, it's going to be a little bit difficult for them to try and defend right now, as long as Asterisk can try and set up the other waves. But thankfully, the other waves are kind of against them right now.
That's true. I mean, the top side wave is piling up, as mentioned earlier.
Do you want to look for a fight here? Kind of scary.
Yeah, they're doing a 5-man unit because all the waves are not in their favor anyways. So would have been nice if they probably had pushed like bot side or top side at least would have been the best, I suppose, and maximize the when I say Guardian Angel, the Baron. I just said Guardian Angel. Now with Guardian Angel, Nocturne, it's gonna be so difficult. Like they even had a hard time already in the
couldn't kill her the first time, couldn't kill her the second time.
And even if you do, she's gonna get back up again. Okay, so trade.
Oh, coming in here, Salmon Pig might be able to do a little bit more damage than they would like. Jumping forward, Disturb might come in as well. I think that's the first kill headed over to the Cassiopeia. Very nice, he teleports in just to provide a little bit of assistance to the Cass as they shove the wave back. 4 members strong over in the mid lane for CBE, but they're still being shoved back by 2 members on the enemy team. Call the Forge God coming in, forces the Feather Storm. Ray will be able to get out of this one quite safely here, but even then, this top wave is building up.
Yeah, 3-2 right now. 4-1, rather, as Mayonnaise joins the patrol squad here at topside. Got a wave clear, Ragnarok.
Ragnarok being used, Disturb trying to jump in over into the backline. Lushless taking a little bit of damage, and that's a big AoE chunk, but Disturb will get taken down first. Now Claria steps forward, Aya trying to move in as well. Kettlebone coming in the flank, and it's an easy forced engage rebuttal coming in for Asterisk to take down the Renekton.
Tunes is so low as well. If you back, then you're just giving up a defense position for your side. You need the pokes at least to try wave clear and as well try to poke. But then again, it's just so difficult with Lustreless on that Guardian Angel. Inhibitor's gone. Top side has been sort of abandoned. They decide to just go for the mid inhibitor. And at the moment, it's back to the reset, like taking all resources of the jungle just so that CB cannot get anything near their base.
Yeah, it's so difficult to farm back up, and right now it's easy for Asterisk to look to push down bot lane, look to push out the top side as well. And from there on, it's just really a game of choking out the opponents, and we've seen how well they do that. On the other end as well, I would also like to mention a couple of the item builds, especially coming in for the Lissandra, going for this early QSS. Second component. And this is going to provide a little bit of safety against what Candleburn is bringing to the table, and you know, she's packing heat, so you gotta be a little bit safe there. But even then, you know, that's a component that slows down what you need to get, right? And it's really only useful for yourself as opposed to the rest of your team.
So much respect indeed for the heavy CC on the side of Asterisk, which is understandable because I think that was what happened earlier at the very first team fight at the Dragon side. That was their demise. So much CC, so much control and zone as well. But the problem is still intact. That the fact that Lustreless is still, you gotta pop off that Guardian Angel to at least weaken their unit. You know, it's just, when you think about it, coming into the fight, coming into defense, you know that you have stacked up problems. So right now, all they can do is clear waves, farm up, try to even out and equalize the gold, at least 6k gold lead for the side of Asterisk. And Baron will spawn soon. Maybe a steal, maybe wait for them to get chunked down, and then search for an opening. Perhaps that's the key. What do you think?
Yeah, it kind of feels like talking about these objectives that you have to try and pick up, you know, whether or not this is the key. I think it goes down to looking toward what the win conditions are for CBE. I think the most obvious win condition for them was that the hope that the Renekton was just going to pop off and, you know, carry them. But if that's not the case, then they have to have this power to run down the pure damage threats coming in. Flash onto Aya. Now they're looking for a fight. The ground onto Salmon Pig. Ragnarok coming in. The flash forward. G managed to take down the Lucian first. Clara flashes away as well. But there's a trade back. 1-for-1 kill so far. Lushless takes a decent amount of damage, but the Featherstorm coming in from Ryrie just going right in.
Beautiful execution by Rary, just wanting to get the kill onto the Brand. That's a 1-for-2 exchange, pretty worth. At least it will slow down the Baron take. I guess not. I mean, that's a cast and a Nocturne.
Yeah.
So they can shut it down, or can tank it later on when she arrives.
Yeah, you can just tell that CBE aren't even prepared for this to happen. And this goes back to what I was talking about, right? You look at the win conditions coming in for CBE. If it's not Renekton is going to be carrying you, then you have to run in and take out the damage threats. And it just so happened that Asterisk saw a little bit of opposition. I got caught off first. She managed to find some distance, but even that was not enough. And, you know, that fight just went in the favor of CBE through and through.
Indeed. They even waited for Brand. Oh, wait, no. They weren't able to wait for Brand to respond. They had the opportunity to probably wait like 1 second.
If your support player isn't with your team, you know, it's I'm just kidding.
It happened so many times though. Like they would insistently type like, wait for me, stall the Baron, don't kill it yet. They tried to juggle though, I saw earlier, but the timing wasn't there, I suppose. And of course there's also a threat of a steal if they wait around.
Yeah,
so,
risky maneuver.
Yeah, it was pretty risky, but easy Dragon. Look at the shreds from Asterisk. Jeez.
Easy Baron, easy Dragon. Now they're moving over to the bot wave. They have Orin in the mid lane as well. Top wave should be pushing in by itself. So overall, all the lanes looking to be in quite solid position for Asterisk.
Wave clear wise, at least they've got the Lissandra. They still got Zyra as well as Saya. But then again, they're very open to dives, which is dives and flanks. So worrisome. There's the empowered cannon minion as well, which you can't reach, by the way. The feathers are right there, just in front of them.
Try so hard to get it.
Oh, but Mayonnaise is actually split pushing, so the 1-4 is pretty strong and scary. Making sure to put some more pressure towards the base of CBE.
It's the one on Ami. Now they're shoving down the bot wave. Salmon Ping trying her best to wave clear against this, but it's difficult. Vainazi over from the sides. One call the flash got away from a massive fight. The jump in from Selwyn Pei, but she's gonna get taken down right away. Looks like instead it's Claria that goes down first. Vainazi over in the backline trying to take on the fight. Deserves doing so much work in the backline, just barely able to distract them for a little bit longer. Now over onto the on, she's trying to do the damage that she can, a little bit more, but a cooldown stopping her from coming in.
Oh no!
They're just barely missing out on the kill onto the Zaya there, but it doesn't even matter at this point. 4 members strong on Asterisk, down they're chasing them down, they're pushing into the base, right onto this bot inhibitor, now onto the next turns, they're looking to end off the game.
5-1-2 on this mayonnaise as well. Here's the last defense for Rary, but everyone else from Asterisk is so painful. They're even destroying the mid inhibitor as well for more minions to climb in and help destroy the Nexus. Congratulations to Asterisk for taking game number 1. And it's so funny, we were talking about how finally we see a team like in the lead,
Right.
like, in control. Then they just destroy your dreams after one clash.
You know, that was CB played an incredible early game. They didn't get caught out. They farmed out very well. They reached a point where they were trading pretty well. Got a couple of kills ahead. I think the scoring was something like what 5-2, 6-2. And then one team fight swung the favor into Asterisk's hands. They get a Baron off that. They have a comp that's drafted very well for that Baron neutral objective, and then you just take the game from there.
Exactly, and that's exactly what happened. So I wonder what kind of